What is up, ninjas? My name is Sam World, and I utilize this sequencer to create a new track that I have coming out on Box of Cats on December 2nd. Now, the sequencer that you didn't know you needed is the MK1618S or 5 sequencer 1.0.1. You want to find this version because the other ones don't work with latest Ableton unless you're running a cracked one. Very simple to use. There's two ways to use it. Number one, you can get very technical and very specific with it, which means you're going to go in and you're going to start shifting the notes to get something that is in your head. And if you're the type of producer that wishes that one day AI will be able to give you good melodies and good ideas to work off, you can also utilize the random feature. I feel like if Giorgio Moroder never learned the music theory, you can also mess with the rhythm and randomize it. Now, there's a couple of drawbacks utilizing this thing. Like, for instance, if you were to record the MIDI output, you're going to notice that the notes being hit are very small, which leads to very bass lines. But again, the whole idea is for you to generate something that you can work with, because it's better to start with something than nothing. So you're going to install this thing, guys. You're going to have to open it up. But once you have it, it should come up under Max for Live. And you're going to have it here in the Max MIDI effects. So we can bring that, drag and drop. Make sure that you turn it on first, because a lot of people make the mistake of not turning it on and think it doesn't work. Okay, so from there, obviously you have a patch that you like. I have this very quirky saw one, which we're going to keep it simple for this video. So the first step that I recommend you guys do is grab a scale preset. You're going to go to MIDI effects, type in scale, and then from there, grab the minor. I'm a huge minor fan, but you can experiment with the other ones. Set it to the key you want. We're going to go with D because I like it down low. I can change this to note. So I want to move this transposition up to around the D sharp. So the number one is D sharp, the first dial. From there, I can start at two different spots. The first one is the top, which is my note selection. So if you already want something that's 116 rolling bass, then from here, all you really have to do is start to move these guys here. Now, if you know music theory, then pick notes like that are part of the scale of D sharp minor, which is F sharp. So you can start to change notes here. Now, the other cool thing is that you can also randomize, as we were talking about. And if you're going to be doing that, that's what this scale feature is here for. For instance, here I can set a range for the amount I'm going to randomize. So I could randomize from D sharp all the way up to F sharp. But remember, it's 3ST, which means there's in between. So you can go chromatic. This is why the scale is here. So I could say a range of 7, random. Now remember, this also goes down, so you might go too low. Let's go a little higher up to 23. Now from there, let's assume that you are the type of guy that doesn't believe in 1 bar or 2 bar bass lines. You can increase the length here. And for instance, we can do like 16 to. I'm going to change this. So what I'm going to do here is I can play with the rhythm of this by selecting 2 or 3. That's just going to say how long the note takes up. Again, we want to go faster on the first 2. I love Jesus too, baby. Now, for those of you guys that are a little bit of more advanced know-it-alls and know about velocity and the power of velocity and know how to route your synths to get the velocity, there's one more section too, which is the velocity section. Now, this section is cool because obviously, as you can see, predetermined it's at 100, but I also have a range I can select. So let's say I want this to go between 110 and 127 so that I can randomize this. Obviously, it's going to go with the first sequence of the pitch and this rhythm over here. If you watch the complete guide to Master Serum that I made, you know there's a velocity feature inside of Serum. And the cool thing about this is that I can put this to stuff to help create really cool stuff where the velocity does a lot. For example, now we don't want to do too much of it, but that's what it's doing. Now I can move this lower. Last few notes, there's a MIDI through here. So if you want to put your own MIDI notes and have it interact with this, then you can, but that just means that you're going to overlap this, which is not a good thing in my opinion. Never sounds good. The other thing I forgot to mention, which is super clutch, is the direction. So this you can use to kind of create variation or to spice things up. So for instance, here I have this pattern. Okay, I'm going to activate here this, which is like a crisscross. you can see it goes backwards, so forward and back. And then I can also have it just go. And you also have mod reel for the aux there, so you can route this to, looks like the mod reel. Let's see, does it do? Oh, it does. So you can route your mod reel to certain things as well. I'm learning with you guys. Now, let's assume we like this pattern and now you're like, I'm ready to take off the training wheels. Well, all you have to do is, again, you're going to go here, open up a MIDI track, Command-Shift-T. You're going to get a MIDI track, go to Serum, post effects. You're going to have MIDI. Again, this MIDI channel, not audio. And then just arm this, hit record, and profit. Obviously, now is the time to work your magic. This is where people that use this that are not so good producers, and then the good producers are going to start to distance themselves, because a good producer will start to bring this to life. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to elongate all of this. From there, I'm going to hit, and then from there, I can start to say, oh, maybe this can be one, etc. So I start working with it. And maybe here I can, maybe. And then there you go. I have that and I'm happy with it. The other cool thing is can also lead you to cool like variations and like notes that can work well together to create a melody. You know, if you're the type of producer that hears a melody and can come up with another melody because you just heard that melody, this thing is clutch. The last usage for this guy as well, the sequencer that we are utilizing, is also you can make cool acid patterns, etc. There's various different uses for it. But the last one I'll show, because my son's tutor is about to come in, I feel like, is that we can also drag in a bunch of percussion samples. For instance, here we have these from the new Deceiver Volume 5 pack that you can support over at EvoSounds.com. I believe I can drag and drop them. So we're going to drag and drop them here. And then from there, we're going to open up, again, that damn sequencer. Yeah, those are all from Deceiver 5. If you like it, the pack is huge. Alright guys, and that is going to be the end of the video. Now if you want to support my channel, consider supporting my sound design work over at EvoSounds.com. My Soundbanks are utilized by some of the best producers out there, and I didn't have to pay them for them to say that. They found my packs like other people and utilized them. Now if you want to support me via the music route, I do have a new track coming out with the Box of Cats called The Philosophy. I mixed this track myself. I created the vocals myself. Everything in that track is me. I just want to show you guys the stuff that I teach you guys can lead to good sonically sounding tracks. From there, if you enjoy it, well, that's subjective and that's art, but consider checking it out. I'll leave a link down below for both websites, and other than that, you guys have a great rest of your day. I can't deny.